he's been aspiring to reach for a pretty good while. In his lifetime, in percentage of lifetime, most of his life almost. And just as I did in first period, this is what Josh, when he actually, his freshman year, and also, I believe he did also maybe in his sophomore year at some points. But he walked in, and it was probably about at the end of the first week or beginning of the second week. All of a sudden, one day I saw him, and we had these drafting tables that are right there, and they were like lined up. They were throughout the room. I didn't have the computers right here. I didn't have a computer set up at that time. I think, or I had the computers over there, didn't I? Yeah, I have them over there.
Yeah.
No.
It was like
it was different. It wasn't around the wall.
Yeah.
But anyway, all of a sudden Josh was saying, and I remember it was somewhere back here, probably where Jaquan was. And all of a sudden I'm sitting here getting ready to speak to the class, but I see Josh. He's looking around. He goes like this. He goes, if this was right here, he went. And I was like, what's he moving my table for? He goes, all of a sudden he goes, and I said, Josh, what are you doing, man? I said, this is not a workout place. I jumped all over him about that. As I tell y'all, I chastised him. He said, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Meeks. I'm sorry. And since then, I saw he has morphed into what has become a goal of his, a large goal. And not only has it become a goal, it shaped him as a person, because to even come close or have a reality of coming close to that goal or trying to obtain that goal, it's called discipline. And I can say as a person, Josh is very disciplined. And a lot of y'all know, I know most of y'all's activities and what y'all really want to do in life and everything. The thing it comes under is being disciplined. But if you don't have a goal to do that, that's what Josh is going to talk to you about today. But let me talk about our relationship though. Josh started off, and he took classes all 4 years from me. Each year I saw him progress. His first year, he wasn't focused on school that much. He did okay, not great. It was sort of like in the middle of the road. But then by his junior and senior year, he would get mad or upset that he wasn't making a 100, because then we did have BT Ray line. We don't have that anymore, by the way. And he would go and say, I'm gonna make 100 mistakes. He was actually cocky about it. I'm gonna make 100 mistakes. I got it. I got this. I'm gonna do it. It's like you, Brian. And anyway, he just grew, and he wrestled. He also played football and so forth. And he was very close to coaches. He's still really close to Coach A. And we have a lot of respect for Josh and what he's doing. But he's a junior at Winston-Salem State, and to an extent, he's one of those close bond type of guys that I have a bond with, that it'll be a lifetime. He can call me anytime, and I'm gonna know it's Josh. He doesn't even have to say give his name. Say, hey, Mr. Meeks. I say, hey, Josh, because I know him that well. And just to let you know, hey, and I said this for a period. I do. I love this guy. And the thing is, I'm proud of him too. That's why I teach. Okay? That's why I want relationships with y'all like this. Okay? And that means it's because I care. And if you desire that and know people care, you'll want those people around you. And so I'm just excited for what he's doing in life, and what he's got ahead of him and everything else. He's going to do great. he doesn't get down on life, insanity. So that said, enough bragging about Josh. I'm gonna let him take it off.
So, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Excited about this week of school?
Nope.
No? Why? I hear you on that. But as Mr. Meek said, I'm a former student of his. I attended here at RJ Reynolds High School. I am a professional bodybuilder, as you can see. I have a magazine cover. I just turned pro this year. Junior was a Southern State, major in exercise physiology, and still working towards my goals, and I'm not too far removed from being here. I'm still, working towards getting to where I want to be in life. And I'm also here to talk to you guys, to give you guys a little bit of guidance and insight as to what you guys are going to expect in the years to come. I'm going to talk about 3 things, and I'm going to leave you guys with 3 things today. It's going to be, what is your goal? Is number 1. Do you know how you're going to get there? And the third one is going to be, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get to your goal? Because at the end of the day, we have to know those 3 steps to get to where we're going to get to in life. And they all are very important. So my first question for you guys is, share with me some of your goals. What are your goals?
I'm trying to be a mechanic.
Mechanic? That's good, man.
I'm a mechanical engineer in the Air Force.
Okay, let's go around the room. I want to get you guys engaged. I know this is a new week. Monday you aren't excited about being here at school, but what's your goal?
Somewhere in coding or something.
Coding? Okay. You miss?
Modified cars.
Okay.
Heart surgeon.
Heart surgeon? Cameraman?
I want to be an engineer.
Okay.
I want to be like in the NBA.
NBA. You play basketball here?
I might.
You might.
Yeah.
You're a freshman? Where are you going?
10.
What about you, sir? You got sure? You don't know? NFL? NBA, NFL?
Army officer. Army officer. Engineer.
Engineer? You don't know?
And David's from Germany. He's a chemistry student. He's done very well.
I'm not sure. Want to be a pilot?
You're a good pilot.
You want to go into the military? Yeah. It's pretty big. Actually, Nate, he's got some big goals out. They're doable.
Well, yeah.
So it's good to hear that you guys have goals. Chase those goals. But now that you have those goals, I think that it should be well understood what you're going to have to do to put yourself in a situation to achieve those goals. Discipline is going to be a very big factor. So number 2, we're going to talk about what are you going to do to get to your goal. So what are you going to do to become?
I got that.
Okay.
I'm going to go to A&T,
A&T?
get my master's degree in engineering,
Okay.
then go to the Air Force.
So you get your bachelor's first though, right?
Yeah.
Then your master's.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Air Force.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You might as well go, and you might as well make it a grade so you go to officer candidate school.
What about some of us, the other guys in here? What are you going to do to go to the NBA?
Yeah, go to a D1 college. Just major.
Start
What are you going to do?
Huh?
Gotta start playing here first.
I can play AAU.
You play AAU? Okay. Yeah. What about you, my man? You want to go to the NFL, right?
Yeah.
You play football here?
Uh-huh.
You want to play in college?
Yeah.
I'm going straight out of high school to the NBA.
You gotta meet your high school team first.
You can also be a walk-on too, though.
Yeah, no, I need to go
You
in
be a
first.
walk-on.
Let me go in first.
Just your wife's walk-on.
And you said you want to be a pilot, right?
Yeah.
What steps are you going to take to put yourself there?
Well, I'm looking to get like a private ticket sometime soon, like over this summer, and then probably go to like a flight school like Embry-Riddle or somewhere like that, but probably a little closer.
What I recommend you guys do is, fasten your seatbelts and get ready, because it's going to be a long ride to get ready to go to your goal. You're going to have to be, like Mr. Meeks was saying, very disciplined. You're going to have to surround yourself with the right people. You're going to have to make the right decisions. And just to share you guys a little bit of stories, coming out of high school, everything is going to be different. For me, I was working 2 part-time jobs, and I was a full-time college student. I actually still am, but I was working 2 different jobs. I was working Taco Bell and 2 men in the truck. And I encountered a lot of people that were a little bit different, you know, had a lot of different experiences, people that had a little bit more wisdom, or try to run circles around me, and maybe become a little bit more worldly, you know, a little bit more smart and methodical about the way I go about things. It matured me a little bit. So coming into the work world, you know, I was encountered by different people that would try to lead me astray from my goals. You know, granted, at the time, I really didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I had graduated, I had played football and wrestled here, but after I graduated, that was no longer in my life. So all I was left with was lifting weights. And pretty much at the time, I mean, that's all I was doing, was hitting the gym, working, going to school, and just living life, you know. I knew what I wanted to do, but at the same time, I didn't quite know how to go about doing it. So there came a time and a point where I was just like, you know, I'm just tired of just living the same life, you know, working and going to school, and I just kind of want to, you know, go ahead and get to what I want to do. I mean, I know you guys hear adults say you're young, right? You know, don't worry about it, you're still young. How many of you have heard that before? Enjoy it while you're young. You know, you're young, don't worry about it, this, that, and the other. Well, there's going to come a point in a time where you're not young, you know, and it's not really a set age where you just transition from being young to being old, or, you know, just becoming an adult. Start now. You guys are what, 16, 17? How old are we in here? 16, 17? So start now. People might tell you you're still young, but that doesn't mean you can't chase after your goals. So, I mean, like I said, I was tired of just the whole same old, so I just decided to take up bodybuilding, which is kind of what I always had in the back of my mind anyway. I started lifting weights when I was 12 years old. Like Mr. Meek said, I used to work out anytime I had the opportunity to. I would work out here in class. During lunch, I would get some food and go down to the gym and work out, and then go right back to class. And my life was pretty much just revolved around working out. I actually, in school, I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't the most focused person, because my mind has always evolved around fitness, working out, and just, you know, doing what I wanted to do. And that is getting to where I wanted to be. But at the same time, I was disciplined. And after a while, I had to learn that if I was going to get these magazine covers, these TV features, and being able to come and speak back and talk to you guys, there's going to have to be a little bit something more than just hitting the weights and looking good. There's going to have to be something in my mind. And I had to educate myself on not only, you know, building the perfect body that, you know, is going to be on the front cover of a magazine, but also how to go about opening up a business, or how to go about, you know, exposing yourself. And that was looking at all aspects of life and learning how to connect with different people. As he said, I go to Winston-Salem State University, and I'm actually one of the fitness instructors up there. I train people every day, talk to different people every day. I've always been a talkative person, but I had to learn how to be able to connect with different people. Being a personal trainer, I have to be able to understand where you're coming from, because people don't always come to the gym just because they want to work out. Being a personal trainer, I can tell you, people come to the gym because they're lost. You ever heard people say, you know, you're stressed out, go to the gym, work it out. A lot of people, they go to the gym after a long, hard day at work because they want somebody to talk to, they want to relieve stress, and they want to just work out. So at my job, I have to talk to a lot of people, and I guess you could say I'm more sometimes like a psychologist. And that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about. My third step was, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get to your goal? There came a point in time in my life where, you know, I had to realize that I was going to have to be okay with never being satisfied. And I recommend that you guys have somewhat of the same mindset. You know, I recommend that you guys reach for the stars because you guys are all important and you guys all possess qualities that are good and that are leaders. I see a lot of good things in you guys, and I've heard a lot of good things based off of what I've heard. You know, mechanic, you know, NBA, NFL, reach for the stars. You know, going to the service and stuff like that. And but my question to you is, are you willing to do whatever it takes? You know, you're in college. Your roommate says that you're about to go out to a party. They're about to go to a kickback or a party, but you know you got a test on Monday. You've studied, you know, it's on chapters 1 through 6, but you've got 1 through 4 down. What do? Do you wait till Sunday and, you know, study the next 2 chapters, or do you stay in and study and make sure you got it?
Stay in and study.
And you say that now, but when you really get to college, when you really do it?
I don't know.
And what I'm saying is you're going to be faced with these kind of situations when you get into life, and it's going to be up to you to know if you're that kind of person that could, you know, just cram it in and do good on the test, or if you need to play it safe and stay in and study. And more often than not, you're going to need to stay in and study, obviously. But you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. My man, you said you wanted to be in the NBA. What kind of life do you think those NBA players are living?
Stress.
You think they just get up every day and just, you know, play basketball, you know, shoot the hoop, and it's just all good? No worries. Paychecks come in.
No, I don't think that. But I wish it was like that. Well, I know they do.
What about you, my man? NFL?
Wake up, work out night and day. That's all they have time to do. That's all they can do. Be ready for the season. Even if they're on vacation, they still gotta work out.
Some of these people say they want to be mechanics. How are you going to go back doing it? Go about doing
I'm going to career center.
career center? What's
I
up?
when I was younger, I had like a little Lego set. You know, you got to build like Ferris wheels and stuff.
Yeah,
Make
yeah,
them
yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mastered all them things. Man.
What I mean when I say that you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. Excuse me, talk. What I mean when I say that you have to be willing to do whatever it takes is sometimes you're going to have to be faced with tough decisions. This year, getting ready for my pro card and the magazine cover, I would get up, work out early in the morning, go to school, work my job that I worked during the week. And sometimes it would lead to me working out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've heard a lot of people think that I'm crazy for doing that. You know, I actually had to take a summer class this summer, and it was a 16-week class crammed into 5 weeks. And it was a long, tough summer. You know what I mean? I did it. I got through. I did what I had to do, and it was a pretty tough process. But like I said, I would be led to work out at odd times of the night. And I'm not saying that like, you know, that makes me, you know, such a hard worker, but I'm just saying that to let you know that sometimes it's going to come down to you having to do things that, you know, aren't expected. You're going to have to adjust and be able to get that grind on to get to your goal. Because things aren't always going to be the easiest thing. Staying true to yourself and knowing what you want to do with yourself is going to be the most important, because you guys, you're the most important person in your life, right? Because you're yourself. So you have to look out for yourself before you can look out for anyone else. You have to be confident in yourself before people can be confident in you. So it's just like, you guys ever heard the saying that a champion is so cocky that he knows he can beat anyone, but he's so humble that he knows he can be beat by anyone at the same time.
Yeah, because there's always somebody out there that's better than you.
Okay. But on paper, is there?
I mean, not paper, but you still got to work hard at it, because if you slack off, somebody will become better than you, because it's always somebody out there working just as hard as you.
Exactly. And that's why I encourage you guys to, another thing I want to talk about is you have to find that happy medium between learning how to think about the future and think about the now. How often are we studying here? You guys study?
Time to time.
You guys like it, don't you? It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
No.
No? Okay. You know I'm joking. But how long do you guys study a day?
With Mr. Meek, about 20, 25 minutes. You know.
Outside of class or maybe?
Oh,
In
yeah.
and out.
I'm talking about
Outside
outside.
class.
Yeah, I know
Now,
it's a
it depends, like, if I got a test now, I'm gonna study, like, or I'm gonna go see my paper like I usually do. But who gonna study? On what?
Any of us studying 2 to 4 hours a day? So I'm saying that you got way better stuff to do with your time than study 2 to 4 hours a day, don't you?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Does that count?
Eat.
What do you get done? What do you get done when you sleep?
I'm hungry.
What I doing?
You eat, you're satisfying your hunger.
But now, like, I go to, you know what LA Fitness at?
Yeah,
I
no,
go
this is on Stratford Road.
I go there to play basketball a lot.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
That's what
That's what I'm trying to get at is we have to be able to be where we're looking at the long term, but at the same time looking at the short term. So if you want to be a pilot, you want to be in the NFL, you want to be in the NBA, you want to go to the service and be a mechanic, right? You said mechanic?
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to do these things with your life, you have to be able to look in the long term, which you've already done, which is why you've told me these are the things that you guys want to do. But you also have to, the next step will be micro and just look at it in the short term. So how are our grades looking? You know, are you going to make all A's at the end of the semester? One thing that I encourage you guys to do, and this is one thing that I had to learn to do, as Mr. Meek said, I improved over the years. I would go to where I wasn't studying. I was just like you guys. I'm not going to say that I, studied every day. I'm human as well. But I went from not studying at all to saying, you know what, I'm going to study 30 minutes every day. 30 minutes every day. So it'd be 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it does make a difference. After a little while, it'd be, you know what, I'm going to do an hour a day. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. After that, it would increase to 2 hours a day. An hour in the morning and an hour at night. Eventually, I graduated to 4 hours a day. 2 hours in the morning from around 8 to 10, and 2 hours at night from 6 to 8. You think about stuff like that, you guys get to college, it's a little bit different than high school. You guys are going from 8:55 to 3:40?
Mm-hmm.
That's about the time. College will be a little bit different. You can set your classes up how you want. So if you have class from 10 to 2 or 10 to 3, something like that, you might as well, go in the library and study from 8 to 10 and then study when you get out, To be successful, it's like with the gym. The first guy in the gym and the last guy out of the gym. I knew that I had to do that to put myself in the situation I need to be at to be successful. And it goes for all areas of life. When you're talking about becoming, making the best you possible, you're going to need to be studying and doing everything. You need to be, let's put it this way. You guys like to do other things during your leisure time. You don't like to study because it's taking away from the things that you want to do, right? But you'll be surprised at how much time you actually will have to do the things you want, because you'll have peace of mind knowing that you've covered that work. And everybody in here, I know y'all know it's the worst feeling ever knowing you have a test coming up and you have to study last minute, isn't it? You got a test on Tuesday, but you're not ready for it. So if you start studying a little bit every day, set some time aside to study, you'll have time to do what you want with no worries. And you don't have to cram it in late, last minute. So that's just one thing that I also encourage you guys to start doing. How many of us in here have a hard time listening to our elders?
From time to time.
From time to time?
Like,
What's the problem?
when I'm asleep,
What's the problem? You said when you sleep.
When I'm asleep, you ask me what to do, like stuff to do.
I'm
I'm tired.
Get out of my room, man. I don't want to talk to you right now.
And like, I don't be disrespectful. I'm just like, I'm just tired. Like,
I do it with,
what happened.
that's my excuse, I do it with, I ain't gonna get done, but I do it
I'm
with.
tired.
Any of us in here feel like we know more than our parents or our teachers?
No, because my teacher, I don't like my teacher.
You don't like your teacher? Okay.
She put me out today.
Okay. What did you do?
See, what happened was, I was taking on power school, and I asked the girl, did she help me? And she told me to get out. So I left.
So any of us other than here feel like we know more than our elders?
Yeah.
Right up. My grandparents, they're not about smartphones. So I feel like I know more than them on smartphones.
Yeah.
And I've heard, you're not the first person I've heard say it today.
Really? All right, bet.
I mean, and obviously we were born in the 21st century. We are actually developing in the 21st century, so we are going to know a little bit more about technology. But one thing I'm going to encourage you guys to do is listen to your elders, always. Because they're in a place where they can tell you what to do. They're there for guidance. They have careers, they're taking care of you. Obviously, they're doing something with their life that is worth it because they're putting clothes on your back and food on the table, so why not listen to them? Because some of us in here that said that we don't know what we want to do, and even some of us in here that said that we know what we want to do, who's going to provide the way for us to get there? Our parents, right? And our teachers as well, if we're doing the things that we need to do, if we're studying, making good grades on a test, making connections, having good relationships with our teachers, that's when letters of recommendations come into play. You know, proud parents. Nobody's parents. I promise you,